Okay, so welcome everyone. This is class 4 of our 4-week level 1 drawing sacred geometry class. We do have a level 2 coming up. It's the next 4 series. So stay tuned for more geometry fun. And today we're going to do the phi ratio and then hopefully sneak in the vector equilibrium. But we don't know. We're going to play it by ear. So let me see. Let's drop in. Let's take a minute. Let's turn our attention inward and just give some appreciation that we made it. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to take a few nice deep breaths, just feeling your energy and awareness shifting into your body. Taking deep breaths in through your nose and releasing out through your mouth, letting go of the day. Grounding and sinking into the surface supporting you. And with every breath, simultaneously enlivening and activating and relaxing and releasing. Bringing yourself into the present moment, connecting with your awareness, your energy, consciousness, your physical consciousness, your spirits, your sensory system, all the parts of you, bring them in with every breath. Connecting yourself to the entirety of yourself and taking a deep breath into your heart, feeling a sense of gratitude to be able to drop in and connect. Feeling a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to expand our consciousness and connect with each other. And as you're ready, one more deep breath and then coming back to our visual connections, Zoom space. I love doing that. Love just taking a minute. All right. So hopefully we have solved the problem. No, probably not. We just made progress on the issue of the recordings. Yeah, all right, no, but we're done. Let's just go into the drawing. We're gonna do the phi ratio today, but I would love to do a little check-in, keeping it nice and brief. I love to hear everybody's voice. Just come on in, say hi, share a drawing, say I'm here. And then we'll get into some good stuff. So Rieko, you had started us off. I asked you to wait with your drawing. Will you show us now, share what you did?
So this
Ooh,
one,
yeah,
it was a really success because I don't have a lot of circle versus this one. I finished.
Yeah.
But last one.
Okay.
You could see so many of erasing line and everything, but
it's tricky, yeah.
Not complete. And then I tried another method. Probably this may work. Or this may work.
Oh, brilliance. Wow, look at how much you've done. My goodness.
But once again, no matter what I'm trying to do, I'm really frustrated. You could see closely some of the line touched with nicely, but other one is not. So that was a really, really frustrating for me. So next step, if I purchase nice compass, because I'm using this one, horrible, because when you make a circle, sometimes this one, when I add some pressure on my thumb, there will be changes. And anyway.
Yeah. No, that's a good public service announcement for everybody. I think that's like the second least desirable compass. So you'll find the next one, but I think I'm not sure you could make the first or second class, but you've only had like 8 drawings or something. Your dodecahedron looks outrageously awesome. And so, yeah, the compass, but giving yourself a break for being early in the process with practice.
Yeah,
So.
or if I can put in a lot of lines, fine, except the circles. Really.
Yeah, they're more challenging. But I'm super impressed. Lots of drawings. Thank you so much for starting us off.
Welcome.
All right, who would like to go next? And remember, if you're just showing up and it's a feat of miracle that you're doing that, don't worry. Like, there's no pressure to have anything, but do jump in and just say hi. Oh, Peori, you going, look at this piece. Oh my goodness, with the color. Hang on, I'm coming. All right. Oh.
Yeah, I did this and
Oh,
also did the more organized version of color.
Wow.
Inspired by the review.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer this crazier one, but
oh boy, those feel delicious.
I also have a very much like headache inducing. I filled with black and I was like, I don't like it, so I had to pull from my sketchbook.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing us the less highlighted. What would we call that? The less, not the ugly stepchild, something like that, like the one that built up to the others, but it's still, even that's beautiful. But those are extraordinary. Thank you so much. I love the color progressions. That's not easy to blend them in harmony with each other. Those are beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Let's see who else we got. Joni, hi there.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, you sound like a control tower.
I'm just, not to change anything. I'm coming in hot again. I just arrived in Denver an hour ago, so I'm happy to be in class.
Wow, and you're here. That's amazing.
I'm in my mom's, but I did in the past week get to do more art, or however you want to call it, more than I've done in a week. I've done more in a week than I did. So let's see, I'll do my unblur.
Okay, you unblur and I'll spotlight. Oh,
wrong button.
All right, all right.
Okay, unblur. So I did have fun shading my dodeca.
Oh, wow. Spectacularly fun. Yeah.
Wow. I think it's gonna, I like it. I think I'd like to turn it into a turtle or something like that, or do something like a turtle with that, just to have fun to change it a little bit. And then last week when I got so lost and restarted 3 times, I finally completed it. I don't know if it's actually what it's supposed to be, but then I started playing around with, kind of pulling out different patterns in it.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed that one too. So a little bit of pen and a little bit of pencil. So it was fun. And then I continued working on the acrylic painting too. I would like to show that. I guess I'll do it in the next. I signed up for the other set of classes. So cool. I'm happy to do that.
Awesome. Yeah. So you can just pick it up and keep going. I love, isn't it amazing? Like the infinite choices of where you can go with the design. Those are so beautiful. And I'm so happy, given the level of stress that you've come in with each class, that you've made the time and you've had the time to draw. That is just fabulous for yourself and your all of yourself.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I got to, for those of you who know the area, I went camping at Detroit Lake last weekend, and in between rain, I got to sit on the picnic table and work on these things and just overlook the almost dry lake. But it was lovely no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love that area. That is my favorite area almost in the world. The Clackamas and all those places back there. All right. Thanks, Joni. So glad you made it. I'm amazed you made it and you're in Texas an hour ago. All right. Oh, I didn't catch the chat. Did somebody just say something? Who's jumping in next? Oopsies, that's not on. See. Oh, sorry. We got I wasn't one at a time. Oh, Greta, was that you? I think I heard you.
Yeah, there was somebody else too. So I'm at the beach and I'm doing other things, but I did do some art, and so I thought I would just.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I did that. So that's all I did, but I didn't do any compass work.
Oh, that's lovely art. Love it. Thank you. Yeah. I meant to have my crop circle art to share with you guys. I'm teaching a crop circle drawing class. And so we did a crop circle and I went all the way with it. And I was like, oh, I got to show them. I'm doing art too. Thanks, Greta. All right. Let's see who we got. Who else jumped in at the same time? I'm sorry. I was checking the chat. I didn't see who it was.
I think that was me.
Okay.
I did. So I did this.
Look at you all doing it. So great.
I haven't.
Oh, beautiful.
And then-
Sharp, Janice. Looking good.
And this one was really fun. I really liked it.
Look at
Yeah.
what you guys are doing. Oh my God. It's so great. You like that one? I love it.
It's really fun. I have noticed, I think I am getting better. I know somebody else mentioned getting the compass in the right spot so that all of the circles line up the way they're supposed to. And I've been having problems with that also. I think I'm getting better at it. I think for me, at least, it's just, I really have to pay more attention to where I'm putting the point of the compass. It seems like it's in the right spot, but then when I get through with the whole drawing, then I realize that some of them were not in the correct spot. So I'm really trying to concentrate on that and trying to get better at that. I think I'm getting better, but
Oh, you are totally.
that's a challenge for me. But
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So moving forward with yet the challenge, but it totally takes practice. It's like the brand new thing. And just make sure, I don't have a compass with me, but I'll improvise. Just make sure, right, you do a spin and then you can do like the pick it up and put it down, right? You can just kind of eyeball that. You're going to be super less precise than if you make a circle, pick it up, change your grip, put it down, and then come back and do another circle. And it can be really meditative. You circle, pick it up, put it down, put back, circle, pick it up. So that's a really great tip. Are you doing that already or?
no,
Okay, yeah, try that. That'll do it. But those are beautiful. I'm so excited you
That's
drew.
really fun. Yeah.
I love it so much. All right. Thanks. You guys are rocking it. No pressure if you didn't draw, but so far I'm so excited. All right. Who we got? We got Ben and July and Joy, and then we'll get into it. All right, July, I saw the hand first. You go for it, and then we'll go to Joy.
Yeah, I'll just show you a quick one. So I colored in this was the one from last week,
Oh, yeah.
right? But I
Yeah.
colored it was on the computer. I didn't color it manually, but
Oh, my gosh.
kind of hard to see. It's like
Whoa,
zooming
wait.
in and out.
So when you say it was you was on the computer, you drew it manually, but then how do you mean you drew it on the
So
computer?
I scanned, or no, I took
Scanned
I took a picture of it and
Yeah.
then I photoshopped it. It's really
Wow.
hard to see it correctly, but anyway, it was fun.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, no, that's just that's adding techno savvy into it. So that's its own beauty. Wow, I love those rings. There's just something super. How many are there? I'm just curious.
I believe
Like
it was
6, 7,
eight.
6,
Eight.
8.
There's
Okay.
there's 9 lines. It just looks like
Okay.
8.
Well, you got to look into the numerology of that, right? Because you could have stopped at any of them. So that's probably significant somehow. We don't get to know how. All right. Thanks, July. That's beautiful. And then Joy, you jumped in. Yep.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, time at work. But then I go back to it and you're right about putting that thing in exactly the right spot and
Mhm.
all of that
Mhm.
drives me crazy. And then the next time it's screaming frustration. So
Yeah.
it'll get right.
That's terrible. Screaming frustration. But yeah, the practice can we see you held it up so fast, that green. Can we see it? So beautiful. Just one more time. I know you probably don't
Well-
want to. Oh, it's green and yellow. Oh my gosh. Oh, that took you a while too. That's such an investment of time. It is so
Yeah,
beautiful.
all these. No.
What's that?
Well, I look at the ones that are all shaded and everything and think,
I know. As long as we can compare ourselves and come up short, that's what matters. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got Leanne also. So Leanne and Ben. We
Okay,
got
I'll
Leanne.
go.
Yeah, how you doing?
Well, you know what? I was kind of off this week. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure I'm not really sure what happened. I practiced and I had a couple good ones and I did some other things. And then I went into what is happening here? But the good news, I did. I don't know, can I?
Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah.
So I had to just back up and say, although my ego, I'm jealous of everyone who colors, I had to just back up and say, my brain said, just function, learn to draw, enjoy it, meditate with it. And that's what I did this week.
Oh, nice. That is brilliant. I think it's like next level if you actually push through like the obstacles and the density. And by the way, July did echo what I was thinking, which is it was an eclipse. It was just a rock and roll weekend. You know, I mean, the energies were just all over the place. So if you were riding that in any way and then managed to get a geometry in there, that's brilliant. Well done. Yeah. Awesome. Glad you made it. We'll give a shout out on the recording to Zabby. She's not here, missing her lovely presence. And then Ben, do you have children running around? How are you doing?
They're on their way home. They'll be here soon enough. I was not able to do any drawing this week. This is really like the space of time I have carved out for that. And so I don't have anything to show off, but I'm glad to be here.
You made it. I'm so impressed. So thank you for that. Thank you all. It really is an honor. I mean, I know it's just, you know, it's 2 hours more of screen time, but it is what we have. And I loved teaching there in person, but at least we get to have this. So, okay. So don't forget to take pictures of them. Remember on your camera, because it's so cool to see them differently and then show them off to everybody. So I want to do the 5 ratio today. And this one has a little bit more of a like professional math feeling about it, even though it's not that. We're just going to do it step by step. And I'm going to do the quickest review. Yeah, this is my living room, but this is have I been in the other room the whole time? The smaller Shri? That one's a 4x4. This one's a 6x6. I just get a little carried away with them. I wanted to have a Shri, I wanted to have a Sri yantra made out of a yoga mat so that I could go on the red rocks and meditate in some sort of glorious way. And so I drew it. I put yoga mats together and I drew the Shri on the back of the yoga mats, and then I cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and it was really too fine. So I came up with a background. I worked with spray paint for the first time, and it's larger than I am, but it was really fun. And now it's stuck here until I move out. I love it. It's a big portal. If you have the chance, look into the Sri Yantra if you are not familiar with that. It's an incredible geometry, very different. I just put it in the chat. Very different than the symmetrical ones we're doing. It's a very asymmetrical, symmetrical technology, thousands of years old from Hindu culture. Okay. We're going to jump in. I think we're just going to get to the 5. The vector is just like an extra thing. I'm always juggling the shapes around, but I don't want to rush us. So we'll take our time with the 5. This is just going to be remembering, right? We went over a lot of this and just it's designed. There's PCC not working for us. It's designed, all of this, we know these things, and maybe everybody's got their juices flowing and drawing, and it's just trust that it's turning on just all these different levels of ourselves, right? All of these subconscious realms that do know that our DNA is made up of this ratio, the phi spiral, and then the interconnectivity that comes when we see it, right? It's everywhere. It's our society, our culture is just bombarding us with this program of separation from birth, right? But like now, lately, mainstream media, I'll just put that plug in to turn it off, even though it seems really important and a lot of stuff is going on. We can say prayers and we can connect with the quantum field, which is the geometric structure of space-time and has these properties. Oh, I'm talking really fast. But we're talking about repairing the illusion of division right now, right? More important than ever. I mean, the world is just going off the rails. And so, coming together, finding the connectivity, realizing that like we are made of the same stuff as the stars, right? It's all woven together. And so this, program, this delusion of separation and this barrage of suggesting that we should fight each other, that we are, culturally superior or inferior in one way or another, like that, it's actually, the geometry can speak to that level of fragmentation in our culture, right? When you're looking around and your brain is starting going, oh my God, like these patterns are everywhere. And then if you know that, we are the shape as well, then it really, you can't help but question the construct. You can't help but look around and say, I'm gonna choose to find the similarities. I'm gonna choose to realize and remember that we are all more connected than not. And just by drawing, by remembering the math, right? Love the math. I've been just freaking out on the math. So the idea of, number one, remembering our connectivity, like literally studying these shapes promotes unity consciousness. And it's subtle. You might not realize it right off the bat, but it's happening. And the more you draw the geometries with the harmonics, some kind of magic and mystery is happening, that your system is coming online and connecting with this field of consciousness that exists and connects us all. So I can't tell you enough how much is happening. I'm so thrilled that you all are drawing. I just love it. And that you all are here. And the other piece about the phi is, well, there's lots of pieces, but it is an infinite geometry, right? The ratio of 1 to 1.618, I'll show it in a second. It spirals infinitely out or infinitely in, right? It is how space divides itself. And I have, in the last 2 years, built a totally new relationship with this shape, because it has encouraged the contemplation of myself, or humans, as infinite beings. We are not at all encouraged to think of our infinite nature, right? Like if you take off the DNA splicing that's happened, if you were to reconnect all of our like original DNA, we are designed to be immortal beings. We have the capacity genetically before our genes were altered. So contemplating the potential, contemplating those large numbers expands your consciousness. You're not going to get out to infinity, but at least you're going to get towards contemplating that there's different dimensional realities, right? So there's an inherent in expansion that's happening when we study with this shape, right? So the other thing is that I am just completely on the metaphysical, artsy, energy world of things. And this shape has just helped me fall in love with math. Like it's repaired all of my trauma, and I embrace it. And I really believe that you can access, quote unquote, God, source consciousness, through math, because these divine patterns are, they require that you contemplate the larger architecture, right? And you remember this is the Fibonacci sequence, right? The 1 and 2 is 3, and 2 and 3 is 5. And we're going to build this today, and we're going to see how space divides itself by simply adding on each other or subtracting the integers, right? And then this is what I'm talking about with that grand design. You remember this ratio can be read left to right and up and down on all 3 columns. This is like, this right here is the evidence of, the mystery of number sequencing, which is just so much more complex than what we could come up with, I think, in our limited consciousness. And so without knowing the mathematics of it or using the spiral, we're going to see today how the golden ratio, which is the proportions of the rectangle, right? This is how the rectangle will repeatedly divide itself again and again. It's only till you draw it that you'll really get this, and even then it may take you another turn. So space, when we divide it, these are the ratios of the harmonic, of the phi. These are the different ways that it shows up, and it's how it's dividing space in equal segments and with symmetry, right? And so these proportions are, again, right, woven into our body. You remember that we are that Fibonacci sequence, but we are also that ratio of 1 to 1.618, right? That's, here, let me go back. I think I sped past that. This is, you remember, segment B is the segment of 1, right? The measurement of 1. And then segment A is the measurement of 1.618, right? So it's not necessarily 1 to 2, it's 1 to 1.618, right? And then that ratio is everywhere in our bodies, right? So it's the Fibonacci sequence that's everywhere in our fingers, in our whole body. It's the ratio of 1 to 1.618 that's, you know, in the measurements down to our DNA. And then it is resonance, like we see art and architecture and music and all of the things on the outside, on the external, that are manifestations of that harmonic, of that proportion. And it's not like the artists were, you know, studying or precisely measuring a phi ratio. This is organic art that happens to work with, you know, part of the reason it is so iconic is because it adheres to that ratio and those relationships, right? That's part of the resonance of them. And you can just sort of go on, and there's lots of different studies. I'd encourage you to look at the use of the phi ratio in classic works of art. And it's just over and over again, you can find, you know, that's part, I think, of what makes artists great, is that they intuitively use that proportion, right? And that's what's playing out in why we're drawn to them, right? I mean, some of them are good photos, some of them are good art, but it's also because it weaves that proportion in. And you know, this is kind of similar to where I started off, is just realizing that all of these, I mean, over time, all of these pieces of architecture, pieces of arts, music, all of the studies, all of the sciences, physics, astronomy, biology, like you're always going to come down to finding the geometry within it. And so, you know, there's that other piece where those are the classic studies, but the other piece of like bringing our consciousness online with how we are being manipulated, well, influenced, manipulation is a strong word, but it's sometimes accurate. And so influenced how marketing uses that ratio to speak to us, right? To pull on that unconscious recognition. And so just keeping an eye and knowing, here's our dodecahedron that we did, right? Knowing that the phi is in there. The dodec is used all over the place to influence us, but the phi is woven. Here's the icosahedron. That phi ratio is just woven through everything, consciously, unconsciously. And the more you bring your awareness to that pattern, the more you are bridging the different aspects of your consciousness, and also bridging human consciousness with galactic consciousness, right? My favorite crop circles. And I know we're going into fall, but I just love to, just as just a reminder, right? It's really this natural expression of nature that we find this repeated pattern. I mean, you know, I had the seahorse in there and the elephant and all of the plants, and just remember to get into nature and pay attention to the foods that you eat, right? There's no phi spiral in the Doritos. No, I don't know that. I know that we all know about Doritos, but you know what I mean? In the artificial foods that we love, there's no phi spiral, there's no geometric harmonic, and then our bodies feel it too. And so closing it off with the aspect that this is an infinitely fractalizing pattern. And so this is the self-repeating pattern, and it's how we get fractalization. Human beings are self-repeating patterns, right? We are fractals, and it's part of the phi is underneath that that replication, you know, the material world dividing itself and replicating itself. So I love having spiral art everywhere. I just, you know, and this is really fun to draw. We go for the bones of the phi, but you could extrapolate. All of this is graphic design, so apologize for that comparison. But that is the nutshell of the phi. It's really just a remembering. And if we're ready, we'll get into some drawing. Does anybody have any questions? I know that's like a lickety split overview, but it can be really important. It seems like we're just drawing a shape, but we are activating our collective consciousness. And that is vital right now, right? It's like we're going down a little bit with this divisive marketing. So, okay, deep breath. Let's take a nice deep breath. That's a lot of information. It's just the beginning, right? Hopefully you launch into greater study about this stuff, because it is infinitely fascinating. There's so much math. There's so much insight and wisdom that can come. I've been working with the shape for 10 years, and I used to do it in this really kind of chintzy way, right? Like of doing a graph paper, like just having building the Leanne, did we do it that way with the graph paper? Oh, and you've done the new way, right? Though you've done it. Oh my God, this is fabulous. You're going to be able to compare. But I used to do it just by like building the equation on a graph paper, and it was just always somewhat unsatisfying. So I had a total revelation. We're going to build it structurally sound. And you saw the crop circle that I was working with. I was studying that crop circle, and all of a sudden I learned how to do the phi ratio correctly. And there's just so much that's being turned on. I've said that 40 times now. So let's start. Let's get into it. Oh, Leanne, I'm so excited. This is going to be so reparative. I felt so bad. Okay, so we're going to do landscape orientation. And I'm going to bring it up right now, and I'll make sure to get you all this PDF. I'm so bummed with that. Factory equipment. Here we go. So, I want to close out that. Hang on a second. Oh, now I bet I've made it go away. No, here it is. Okay. So let me see what the best way is. Okay. So we're going to start with our compass being a 4-inch radius. So 4 inches wide. And this is going to give us a nice 8-inch diameter, nice big circle to start out with. And we want to try for precision on this one a little bit. Just give it a pause, double tap the alignments, and this is a shape where a lot of it is going to get erased. I can never emotionally prepare you enough. It is so tricky because you invest all of this work and then a lot of it goes away. So draw your lines as light as you can, and then your shape will be cleaner. If you forget about that, don't worry. But as you get more practice, you know how to prepare for the erasing, because it is no matter how much I try to tell you, it'll still shock you. Okay, so landscape orientation on the paper. What we're going to do is we're going to basically build our circle to the left side of the page, and you'll see what I mean here. Just get you right up. So we're going to measure from the left margin, right? You're going to measure 5 inches in on the top margin, right? And mark it at a 5-inch point, right? Because this will give us our center point for the circle. And then do the same thing on the bottom. Measure 5 inches in from the left margin. So we're just marking top and bottom with 5 inches in, and then you're going to give yourself that vertical line, right? With 5 inches in from the left margin, and then go ahead and measure 5.5 inches down from the top, and that'll give you the center point, right? So we're building a vertical line that's a little ways in from the left margin, and then on that vertical line, we're finding the center of the page, which is the 5.5 mark. All right, got that. Groovy. Still got heads down. Don't want to rush you. All right, and that is going to be the starting point for your circle, right? So just give it a nice big, juicy 8-inch wide circle. Nice and light. So it should be oriented to the left side of the page, and have a little margin there between the circle and the end of the page. All right, everybody got their circle stepping back nice and satisfied, because it's always so fun to draw that circle. Okay, all right. And remember, if you need another minute, pop in verbally, because I can only see 4 of you at a time. It's really lovely to be drawing with you. All right, now what are we doing? Here we go. So your compass is going to stay the same width, right? 4 inches wide. And you're going to place the points, right? Oh, geez. Sorry. Oh, geez, I've answered the phone. All right. Sorry. There we go. I answered the phone wrong. So compass point is going to go here at the bottom of the intersection and the vertical line. Compass point is going to go there. And you're just going to make a tiny mark, right? This is going to be the practice that we did with the dodecahedron, right? You could technically make a half an arc, but now you guys are professionals. So all we want to do is place the compass and then put a mark down, right? No, messing up with the phone. And then you're going to swing the compass over to the left and you're going to make that mark on the left side also. Right, so we're giving ourselves as if we were drawing the arc, but we're just giving ourselves those 2 marks on either side of the vertical line, right? And then we're going to switch up and do that again from the top vertical intersection, and you're just going to swing the compass around to the left and the right. So you're going to get these 4 points, right? And not too heavily, but you could just darken them in to get precise, you know, because lots of times when we make a little mark, it's a little loosey-goosey. So give yourself those 4 points, right? Good deal. Okay. All right, still making the points. We got this. Don't ever want to rush. All right, here we go. Now what are we doing? We're going to place our compass point right on the bottom right point that we just made, right? So compass point is going to go there. And then you want to make like approximately a 2-inch line that would cross over a hypothetical horizon, right? So just eyeball it. You make it a 2-inch line to make sure you catch, you'll see. And then we're going to swing the compass up and do it from the other side. So using that upper right point, you're going to come down and make another 2-inch line. And it's going to give you like an X marks the spot right on what would be the horizontal axis, right? So you're going to start down here. Compass is going to go on that bottom right point that we made. You're going to make a little hash mark. I say 2 inches, it just totally doesn't matter. That's just a ballpark to get you going. And then you're going to switch the compass up to the top up here and then do the same thing. And it'll give, it's like a treasure chest, a treasure hunt, right? You're giving yourself an X marks the spot. And then, yeah.
You say 2 inches, but also just to get us going, like, but is it supposed, we are supposed to make our compass smaller than the initial circle?
No. Sorry. You're making a 2-inch line there.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the compass is going to stay 4 inches wide here. You could make a random like inch long mark. You could make 2 inches. It's just, I'm giving you enough length in order to get the X marks the spot, right? You don't want to cut yourself short. Got that part?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks for clarifying. All right. So this has given us the point now. You remember we only need 2 points to make a line. So we've got the center point of the circle, and then we've just given ourselves this point out here. So that can give us that horizontal line. You're going to draw it on through all the way to the end of the circle and stop short on the circle there, short of the end of the page. Now, isn't this cool? We have, without adding anything, we have successfully divided the circle into 4 segments, right? Kind of cool in a mathy sort of way, math, not math way. And we're just going to keep dividing the circle. All right. So that step that we just did, come up there. The step we just did where we used a compass point, 2 compass points, we swing the compass up here and make an X, swing the compass up here and make an X. We're going to use that step 4 more times. So we're just going for making the X's, right? And we're going to do that from each point. You've got this upper intersection, you've got the upper and then the right intersection of the line, the horizontal line in the circle. Down here, you've got the vertical intersection again. And then over here, the other horizontal intersection. We're going to use those 4 points as to where we put the compass. So this is what that looks like. You put your compass, I just happen to start on the right side. So start on the right side and you're going to put the compass at the intersection there. I can't make it any bigger for some reason, sorry. And then you're going to make a little hash mark up there at the top, right? Just like we did on that previous step. Hash mark's going to go at the top. And then you're going to swing the compass around below the horizon, and you're going to make a little hash mark down there. All right, so far we've got a hash mark at the top and the bottom by putting the compass there at the intersection. Right? I'll give you a minute, take your time, no need to rush. So that's our step of making hash marks on either side of the line, right? And now you're going to do that same thing from all of these 4 intersection points. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you, see, here's the one on the bottom, right? You're putting your compass point down here. And then when you make that mark, it's going to give you that X with, it's going to intersect with the line that you just made, right? So we're giving ourselves points on the outside of the circle. We're squaring the circle, right? Right, is that coming together? And then it's, you do that from every point, and it's going to give you 4 X's. 4X marks the spots. And then I darkened them in just like this. So you might want to do that because it'll help with accuracy. Oh, looks like you guys are getting this. This is great. All right. Don't want to rush you. Now what we've done is we've essentially created a square that is in harmonic proportion to the circle, right? Super cool math, not math. It's gentle math. All right. Everybody got that? I got a couple more heads still down. Don't want to rush anybody. All right. Looks like we're darkening them in, looking good. All right, we got those 4 marks. Cool. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to use those to bisect the shape again, right? You're going to use, I just went with the right diagonal. You're going to use those 2 marks on the right axis, and you're going to make a line through the circle. You don't need anything to go past the circle, but you're using those points on the top right and bottom left to give you that axis. Nice and light, remember, these are going to be erased. It really is always disturbing no matter how many times I say it. And then you're going to do it on the left side also, and it'll give you, we're dividing space again, right? Why is my, sometimes I can make it big and sometimes I can't. All right. Now we've divided our segment into 8 slices. Circle's been divided. Right, and kind of going for that precision, trying to make it go through the center. Absolutely no sweat. If you don't, we will still get the shape. Right. All right, got some thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you, Greta. All right, got heads up. Couple heads down still. All right. Okay, good. I'm going to go for it. So now we're going to just make a cube, right? You're going to connect those 4 points that we just made, right? And taking the time, taking a little minute with the accuracy, line it up, you know, going back and forth with the pencil on the points, just making a nice square. So we squared the circle out. Oh, they're too bad about that. Sorry. All right. So we squared the circle on the outside, and that gave us the coordinates for squaring the circle on the inside, right? Gentle math, super gentle math. Right, looking good. Okay. Feeling a little different, Leanne? It is a totally different, way more satisfying experience doing it this way. And I really, honestly, it was working with that crop circle that this opened up. So it was all very, very fascinating to contemplate what those formations are helping us with. All right. Joy, it's good. You're just scratching your head for kicks, no problems? Doing well? All right. Just thought it's so strangely voyeuristic that I can see all of you. All right. Here we go. So everybody got the square. I'm going to go ahead. What are we doing now? Okay. Now, we're not drawing a line here. We are only getting the measurements, right? And your measurement should be from this vertical central point up to the top right corner. I'm just showing you the relationship that is 6¼ inches, right? So we aren't just adding a random measurement. We're adding the measurement of that diagonal, which is how we're going to get the golden rectangle the segment 1 to 1.618. We're taking it from that cube. So what we're doing with the measurement of 6 1/4, right, is you're going to start down here. You're going to start with 0, and you're going to measure 6 1/4 line, and then you're drawing that line, right? So it's measuring, starting from the vertical point, and it's going to go parallel with the bottom of the cube, right? Just like this, and it'll extend out to the right. So 6 1/4 inches, just finding that point on the ruler. We're going for precision, but really don't worry if it's not. And it's hard to, this is the kind of thing where once it's done, you'll go, oh my God, I get it. But as we're doing it, it just unfolds step by step. So knowing that this 6 1/4 inch line comes from the geometry is part of the harmonic, right? So we've done that on the bottom. Now we're going to do that same step on the top, right? Exact same step. And it's going to look like this, right? Just like you did, it's going to be right parallel. It's going to extend from the top of the square. Looking good. You guys are doing great. Solid. Okay. Oh my God, Rico, I love your Elmo shirt. That's fabulous. I've got Elmo in the camera when you're drawing. He comes like right up to the camera. That's great. Okay. So we've got this diagram. Now we're going to just connect those two top and bottom lines. They should line up pretty close. So just, you know, ballpark it, line them up, give it the vertical line that's going to close it in, and that'll look like this. So far, your shape should look like this. All right. Okay. And now notice, here's the ratio. You've just created the ratio. Here's the segment of 1, and here's the 1.618, right? So you've just drawn that harmonic proportion by using the coordinates of the circle alone, right? That's just fabulously enthralling to me. And honestly, I didn't quite get this before. So if it's not jazzing you out, don't worry. It's just over and over. Looking at it, it's such a miracle. Okay, I want to emotionally prepare for you. Here is the place where we erase everything except the rectangle. All right. Yeah, I know. I apologize, but we have to move forward with the shape. Yeah.
Well,
Greta, did you use a pen?
Do we poke holes through so that we keep this part, even though you're going to send the, you know, the drawing?
You can take a picture of it if you want to do it that way to kind of maintain it or preserve it, I guess. But I'm definitely going to show the, I'm going to send you the PDF. I'm going to make sure everybody gets it. If you'd like to poke holes, do whatever you'd like to do. We don't need any of that. What is the word? Blueprints. We don't need any of the underlying blueprints that we just made. We just want this rectangle. Ben, did you jump in there?
I was about to ask a question. Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify the size of the rectangle on the right. So you're saying it's 6 1/4 inches? Did I hear you that?
Yes. Where are you in the process?
Well, I drew it, but it just doesn't look right. It's awfully large compared to your example.
Can I see? I'm gonna come out. Can I see? Can you come off camera or no? Or on camera?
Not sure how well it's gonna do.
All right.
Oh, blur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me. Oh yeah.
Open.
No, I want to be able to see it because I want to see what you've done. So
This is not. Yeah. The lines are just that light too. So you can see my circle here on this side here.
yes.
It's
Yes.
just
Here's
much
what you
larger.
did. All right. Here's what you did. Let me go back. I believe this is what you did. All right. So I think that when we took the measurement of 6 1/4, all right, I think what you did is you started the line at the end of the cube. And what you want to do is start it here on the vertical.
Ah, yes, I did.
So yeah, I think so that should repair it. But really what you only have to do, 6 1/4. Yeah, that's going to be tough to find the half point. Just do it again, like darken in darken in the line starting from the vertical, and then you'll just be erasing to make it
Yeah.
a shorter point. Yeah. All right. So you're going to want it to look like this. And then once you've got these sort of darken, and these are going to stay, so it doesn't matter that you've had to darken them in. You're just going to measure the 6 1/4, cut off your cube. Basically, you're going to cut that cube in half. I would give you just the half measurement of 6 1/4, but that's going to get really annoying. So you got this, and then your vertical line, and that should give you the proportion.
Thank you.
Super. All right. Okay, so we want to be here. I'll give you a minute to catch up on that. But everybody got their, can I get a thumbs up? Looking good. Got this point erased. Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's always a little disheartening to erase on every shape, and you can't ever, but you've invested, right? It's you're energetic in there, so it's a little, it'd be like, it makes sense that it's a little tricky. Did that give you enough time, Ben, to get to this point?
No, but I'll catch up. I'm not that far behind.
Okay. Okay. Not that far. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be dividing space, right? Here's this is the golden rectangle. And when they say golden, it's like the highest expression of that proportion, right? And we're going to repeat this proportion again and again and again, right? So the 1 to 1.618, we're just going to keep dividing. So now you're going to take your ruler and you're going to bisect the shape on the right axis, starting from the top right corner, coming down to the bottom left corner, and you're going to give it a nice bisecting line on the diagonal axis. Okay. And it's a golden mystery, right? So once you've got that, now I'm going to show you something here, right? This is part of the mystery. Everybody got their line. Up here is the segment of 1. Down here is the 1.618. Okay, you'll get it in a minute. It's really hard to get this right now. So now we're going to close the compass. Whoops, sorry, we're doing a diagonal line on the top, right? Same thing, starting up here at this intersection of the vertical, center vertical line. You're going to draw the diagonal axis on the left down to the bottom right corner. So starting from the middle point, that's top of the inner rectangle, and you're going to come down and draw that dividing line down to the bottom right corner. Now, if you look closely, you can see here for me, I'm totally off. I'm not even being accurate. I think I gave up or something. So, down here, a little bit off. So that little bit can add up, and it can end up adding up, right? So when you do it again, if you do it again, just give an extra second to precision. You don't have to do it on the first time, but they add up as you get either bigger or smaller. So we got this. Ben, are you with us? Do you get it?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Cool. All right. So we've divided the space again. Now you're going to close your compass to this width, right? You've got this intersection here on the central vertical line. You're going to close your compass to that width. All right. Got that. Here's the above is the 1 segment of 1. And then this is the 1.618. It's so magical. I sound like such a dork. Now, all you're going to do is slide the compass over. You're going to reposition the compass, just parallel over, slide it over, and make a corresponding mark on the right-hand side, right? So we're just using that same measurement. We're going to make a mark on the right-hand side, right? And then that's going to show us where to put the horizontal line, right? So you've got the intersection on the left, you've just made a parallel segment on the right, and then that gives you the horizontal line. All right, and now you've just divided that rectangle into another cube and rectangle, right? So up here is the segment of 1, and now this is 1.618. We're just dividing again and again to that ratio. So if you've got your horizontal line here, above is the next rectangle. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to close the compass. Is everybody with me? Let me do this. We all thumbs up. Everybody's got me good? Okay. Awesome. Doing well. Spectacular. Oh, Ben. Yeah. Hang on a second. Yeah.
No, that was a mistake. I pushed the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Not raising. You were thumbs up. Okay. I gotcha. Okay, so closing our compass to this width, right? Okay. Same thing. You're just going to sort of pull it up to the top vertical line. You're going to use that measurement to make the mark on the top vertical line. So you're just paralleling that point, and it'll give you the coordinate to make a vertical line that then cuts that rectangle into another rectangle. All right, so we're just going to keep repeating this pattern. So once you've got that line, the mark up on the vertical top, on the horizontal top, you're going to make the next vertical line. You're going to make the next rectangle. And it's this ability to divide again and again that is why it's so cool. You know, and Leanne, you can see like there was no way to get this the other way. It was just so sad. But this really gives you the feeling of the repeated pattern. All right. So we've got the vertical line. We've got that segment again. Here's the rectangle, which is 1. And the cube on the right is 1.618. All right, now we're going to divide that rectangle again to get another rectangle. So closing your compass, right, so that here we're using this intersection again. It's going to get smaller. You got to really tune in and sharpen up. Compass is closing using that intersection point, right, to this width here. Okay, same exact step. You're going to slide it over to the left. So, and I'm sorry because the compass is reversed on, it looks reversed here, but this is what it's going to look like. You're using that width. I just, for whatever reason, did that. Sliding the compass right over on the left, sorry, right over on the left, sliding it over to the left, making a mark, right? And that's going to give you the 2 marks that we need for that horizontal line. And it'll look like this, right? There's another rectangle. We've just divided space the same way. You've got the cube, which is the measurement of 1.618 on one of the axes, and then the rectangle, which is the measurement of 1. It's just going to keep dividing itself again and again in this harmonic proportion without even thinking about it, right? It's just giving us the coordinates. All right, everybody doing it? Looks like it's happening. Coolio? No, don't want to rush you. I got a couple more. Okay, looks good. And take a nice deep breath, right? We've got all of this brain activity, this left brain. We want to make sure we're bringing in the sensory, the experiential. Now, if you're getting the process and you want to guesstimate, right? This intersection here is the next point, right? So, oopsies. Here's your compass. Compass is going to go on the intersection there, and you're going to close it to the width on that horizontal line, right? So it's just going to keep getting smaller and smaller using that intersection of the X marks the spot on the inside, closing the rectangle, sorry, closing the compass. And then I switched it again here also, but that's going to give you, so I keep switching the orientation of the compass, but you're sliding that compass down. You're going to give that mark right on the opposite horizontal line. That's the central horizontal line at this point, making a mark. And then that's going to give you the next vertical line. Now it should be getting kind of tight in here. You might not have like distinct places and points, but you're also doing great. You're probably close enough to count. So here's what we've got. You can see it's divided itself again into the segment of 1, that rectangle. The square is 1.618, right? So we're going to do it one more time, and we'll stop there because otherwise it gets too small. I'll show you the last iteration, but we're not going to draw it. So here is your compass point, right? Let me get that for you. Compass and pencil point, right? This tiny measurement. And like I said, it might be harder to see at this point. You can just be ballparking in the general area and closing your compass to that width and then sliding it across. It's going to give you a mark right across from it, right? Same measurement on the opposite side. And then that'll give you your 2 points for that tiny little line in there that, if you'll notice, is dividing the same way again. All right, cool. Heads are, we got the look back. All right, now I'm going to show you the one smaller. If you want to do it, great. It just kind of gets hard on your first one, but you would cut it again. You'd make your compass smaller, taking that measurement in, drawing the, making the mark on the opposite side of the rectangle. Looks like some of you are trying it, so I will slow down. but it's the same step of closing, oopsie, sorry, closing to that teeny mark, that teeny measurement, right? And then, if you can't find the measurement, just ballpark it at this point. You know, you're going to be making another little square and rectangle. So it's just going to look like this. And you really could guesstimate at it. It's just how the space is going to divide itself again. Usually I stop before that one just because it's a little cleaner on the first one and gives you that sense of symmetry. But here we go. Everybody got that? So far, so good. We've all got the squares. All right. Ben, solid? I can't see it, so it's, you know, just give me the audio. All right, cool. All right. Thumbs up. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. So now we're going back to the compass. We're going to do the, oh, let me tell you something about this. So I'll say this again when you have the evidence in front of you, the example. So because there's some of that imprecision on the squares, on the shape that we've made, when we go for the curve, right, there's going to be imprecision as well. So what you want to do, we'll have a square, and you're going to put the compass in one of the corners of the square, and you're going to be, sorry, the compass point, and you're going to be swinging the pencil down, right? You're going to be cutting each cube in kind of an arc, divide. Now you want to shoot for meeting up the arc and adjusting your compass point in order to do that. And here's what I mean, right? So this is total permission to fudge, right? So your compass point is going to go up here at the inner center, and then you're going to be making this arc that's going to swing down, right? This is the beginning of the phi. Now, you can see on mine, there's not a precise intersection here or lining up with the bottom of the vertical and the bottom horizontal. It's a little bit above. So fudge with your compass here. Do the best you can to get it at the top left. Swing it down. See if you can open it or close it a little bit so it gets precise here. Because the only reason it's off is because it was off in our other measurements. And you can just play here. And what you want is these lines to line up here. I'm just going to go ahead. You want your circles to line up, right? So just trying to get as close as you can on that bottom arc here. And on the next one, you'll just pick it up where it is or where it leaves off, right? So we've got that first arc and the sanction to fudge to try and get it. You know, that means you just like either open the compass a little bit more, you tap back and forth to each point. And we're going to do that at every square. We're going to repeat this pattern as well. This is going to be the same step again and again.
I'm gonna have to hand draw it. Mine doesn't open.
Mine doesn't open that far either.
What? 4 inches? Your compass doesn't open 4 inches wide?
It does, but I'm about 1/4 of an inch off from that.
Okay, your
Maybe.
compass. Okay, so your compass opens wide enough. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it opened to the 4, but it doesn't open this wide enough. It doesn't open that wide enough.
all
Yeah,
you
that
wanted
square, the square is about 5 and
oh, it's
5
bigger.
and 5/8, yeah.
Well, I'm glad somebody else has the same problem.
I have not run into that yet. I mean, I specifically do the 4 inches because most compasses can do that. All right, so whose compass doesn't open to that width? Okay, all right, a couple of you. I'm wondering if you can you scoot the compass point in on the diagonal and then it'll touch, maybe? Does that work at all? Ish. I mean, it's probably not going to be the right measurement though. I guess hands eyeballing this one and it'll be off, but that might be the best thing to do.
It could be about 5 and a little over 5.5.
It's a little bit over 5. Yeah.
I think I'm going to draw
usually
a really light one and then I'll draw a really light one and then I'll just eyeball it 1/4 of an inch out.
Okay,
I
great.
think that's my best bet.
Yeah.
Because when I went down, it wasn't going to be correct in the.
Okay, right. So, and then the other ones from here on out, you should have that measurement. I really thought I made it the size that would work because I feel like I have in the past. So, all right. Couple of us compasses are not opening that wide. Are you, okay. Okay. Is anybody just hesitant to open their compass really, really wide, but it might actually do it? No, it actually doesn't do it. Okay. All right. Well, that's the only one that's that wide. It'll get smaller and smaller. You'll be able to do it now. Joy, how wide is yours going? Does it work? Okay. Yeah. Right. That's because that's the silly little goofball one, and it really gets the job done. I love that one so much. All right. So we got enough. Okay. Close enough to count. Now here's, this one should work. So here we've got this arc coming down, nice and low. And I want to point this out because it's just cool on cool on cool. Here, sorry for those of you who have the accurate compass that can do it. Here's a segment of 1, this bottom segment, and now this is 1.618, right? It's just this ratio that just gets woven all throughout, and it's really gets magical. So now we're going to use this inner point, right? We're going to bring the compass, putting the compass on this inner intersection and closing it to this width. And we're just going, that's going to give us the next arc trajectory. We're going to swing it up and across the shape, right? And so if anyone was eyeballing, you know, just prioritizing the continuation of the spiral, right? That's what we were going for, having it match up. All right, so compass points here at the red dot on that inner intersection of the top left of the cube, and then swinging the compass up and to the right should bring you right up to this point, this intersection of the cube on the vertical, horizontal and vertical. Okay, got that. And then repeating that pattern. You're going to slide your compass. We're going to use this point, and we're going to close the compass to the width of, from the red point to the outer vertical line, right? That's the width right there as we're closing. Sorry, I don't have the compass showing on this one. So we're closing to this width, and then it will give you this arc. So sorry, I skipped that step and now I'm covering it up, but we want that. We just use this as the compass point, and then the arc is going to go up and to the left, right? So the next slide has it on it, but it also has the next red dot. So compass, sorry, the arc is swinging up and to the left, going up to the top of the shape, creating that spiral. And then once you've got that arc, you know, you can see how you can fudge the compass a little bit to make the arc line up. And that's really, you know, that's the focus. As you go back, if you do it again, you'll see how like really tuning into the precision on all of the other steps can result in the arc matching up. Oh, I think we're going to get to do the vector. That's exciting. All right. So then that arc is going to swing down, right, from the top on the left. We're going counterclockwise with our building. Compass point's going to go there in the center. I hope I'm not rushing past and jump in if I am. Right. The next we're going the inner corner of all of the cubes. We're just rotating in like that pattern is spiraling in as well, right? Which point we put the compass at. Like we're going for
So
it.
if it doesn't quite work, is that because the two parallel lines that make up the side of the square or the rectangle were not identical? Is that why it does it?
Let me see what you got. Let me see.
Well, I've been fudging, so
okay, that's the way. That's the magic. Okay, hang on a second.
So I've been fudging.
Yeah. Well, what's off? I don't see what's off.
Well, see, I'm not meeting here, you know, and here.
Oh yeah, you won't.
Okay. And so I just kind of got it close and then took my pencil and just kind of made it happen.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first one, you know, we're not oriented to what it's going to look like. It's going to be off. And that's why the fudging is the way, you know, you put the compass point down and you sort of tap to the right and the left and you try to line up the spiral. But what's happening for you, Greta, is probably happening for others. And that's just the first one that we do. And then, yeah, I'm getting some heads nodding. And then once you've got this spiral, right, with this point, you're going to just do the next one. Compass point is going to, oops, I forgot the red dot there. Compass point is going to go on that inner square, right, the inner top corner of the inner top right corner of that cube. And you're going to close the compass, and then that's going to be an arc swinging down and to the right. So again, counterclockwise, you're bringing that point. And thanks, Greta, for modeling that, because the likelihood of this being accurate is very low, very unlikely. But we're just playing. We're having fun. Are we having fun? Are we doing really serious right now? Usually it's like very serious, but you're doing great. We're going to slide that compass point down. We're going to close the width of the compass. Compass point is going to go on that inner top left corner of this cube. Right? And then once we've got that closed, we're going to make a spiral going up. And if your rectangles and your measurements were at all getting off or wonky in here, the spiral will probably be wonky. That's the place I like to stop if you want to eyeball it and do the last one. Here you can see I've totally eyeballed it. I didn't even use the compass. I just went for a little half arc, right? Because we can't, you know, with graphic design, super cool. You can just keep going very, very small, but obviously we have to stop it. Visible numbers. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what everybody's got. All right, let's do the group hold up. Just now peek to the side and look at everybody else's while you're looking at, while you're showing yours. Oh, we got it. Looks like we got it. Brilliance. All right, we got it. All right, so how's everybody doing? What do you think? Do you, what? Yeah, Leanne.
I love it. I can't wait to do it again. That was, this one's totally wonky. That's fine, but.
Oh, here,
I
let's
love it.
see. Yeah, we'll do, and yeah, can
Oh.
we see, or yeah, we'll just do
Sure.
individuals for fun. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, there it is though. You got it. Did your compass, oh, there, no, it's beautiful. They're all going to be a little wonky to start, right? Yeah. I'm so glad that you have got this one now. It's so different than the way I did it before, right?
Absolutely. This is fabulous. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, this is the real deal. It was so sadly patched together before. I just clearly didn't understand the structure of it before, but it's, the more you do it and the more you realize it's dividing in the same ratio every time. Like that is just extraordinarily, it's unique. It's part of the infinite, like you know, contemplating infinite expansion, right? So
this way is so much more meaningful.
Right? Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get it. That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to, hey, Ben, coming on camera. Hey there. How's it going?
It's good. It's good.
Good.
I'm already starting to start over again, and I'm already forgetting the first steps.
All right. I will. Oh man, you guys email me right after this. I'll stay. Oh no, I gotta run to the store before it closes. All right. Let me just vibe on. I'll figure it out while we're showing them. All right. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Thanks, Ben. Who else? Anyone want to jump in?
So what is this last part? Do you have
One
to
sec.
make it in a closet?
Oh my gosh, Rico, that's beautiful. Yes, you would make, you could eyeball just one more rectangle on that inner segments, right? You could keep, you know, imagining smaller and smaller, but it's hard with the visual eye and the coordinates to get to divide that rectangle again and again accurately. That was beautiful. What do you think?
It's a, let's see, it's a more like this.
Okay, hang on a second.
The inner circle.
Yes, right. You would just keep doing the spiral. You got it. Yeah. All right. Well done. What do you think?
Really, I like it. Pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, even with your compass being whatever it was being, you got it. You got the
Yeah,
job done.
I could use this trick because this one I can make it longer,
Mm-hmm.
so I can make a longer circle.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah.
So it worked out, this one.
Oh, good. So glad. All right. Anybody else want to share with theirs what you got? It looks like, I mean, everybody got it. Does anybody have a remarkable insight or enjoyable thing that they wanted to share? Because I think we can sneak the vector in.
I
All right.
I have something to say. I guess I have bought
What is that?
a new compass that let me
Mhm.
control with this little thing because I didn't want, like, I had this before
Yeah.
and sometimes like I move it and then like I lose that exact measurement. And I use this, it doesn't open to 5 inches, so that's the thing to note, but I got all my points touching each other, so I
Yeah.
have
Can we
this
see?
to thank for.
That's so spectacular. Can we
Yeah.
see one more time? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Brilliant.
Oh, it's not too focused. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
What is that you saying it's
Anyway.
crazy? Wait, who said it's crazy?
Well, I can't really focus it.
No, that's great. That was beautiful. I think we all got to see it. Thanks for that tip about the compasses. I mean, I think that's why I go with my cheesy little plastic, no, not plastic, metal one, right? Because some of them open this way and they all have their benefits, but you can kind of just get all the highlights. You know, the one I use, like you can open up and put a big pencil in it and all of those sorts of things. But thanks, Kaori. Anybody else want to share? Greta?
If our initial circle was more like 3.5,
Yeah.
would that compass then work?
Absolutely. And it would be the same proportions. Your measurement on the ruler would be different, but you have what you need in order to get the measurement on the ruler. Like you don't have to remember any kind of math. You just divide that one rectangle and it will give you the measurement that you need because
Okay.
it scales. Yeah. So that's a great idea. All right. Let me see. 7:30. All right. Let's just hear from a couple more people. I think we'll, Joy, how did it go?
It was good, but what I realized is this
There
line is a little bit crooked
we
and
go.
it whole thing off.
I
mean,
mm-hmm.
It seemed straight until I started doing the other pieces. So you're right.
Yeah.
You really got
Yeah.
specific.
And it's that way with the flower too. I'm sure you noticed that, like any tiny bit that's off in the seed, like just like really obvious by the time you get to the outer ring. And like when we're doing it in the class together, you just want to get it done. You just want to make sure you're keeping up with the class, right? And you can't really slow down quite for the precision. But it's like the next time you do it, then you can really see how much it pays off to do that. So thank you. That's beautiful though. Super beautiful. All right. Let's just get everybody in and then we'll sneak in the vector. Janice, Joni, how you doing? July, yeah. How are you guys doing? Joni's thumbs up, okay. Anybody want to share? Either three of you? Yeah. Come on. I said 3 J's. July, how's it going?
I'm happy to get the idea because even though the compass didn't work, it's okay because I can just do it again some other time. And I'm just glad to have the idea of the proportion and the way that it repeats. It's very cool. I couldn't align it at all, so I ended up drawing like 3 lines.
Yeah.
It's okay. I like having the idea.
That was brilliant. I mean, it looks harmonic from here. It looks like it has that symmetry into it. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, Janice, how's it going?
I somehow I got definitely have to do this again.
All right.
Somehow I got the square that we originally drew on the right hand side. I think it was too wide. So I ended up so from here it wouldn't line up properly, so I had to draw it, but I have the right idea, so I'll have to.
Right. And it looks like you did the same thing as Ben, right? Where you measured that 6. Did you see the part that we corrected? Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, it'll fix right up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. And then Joni, do you just want to do the thumbs or you want to say something or how was it?
the mute button. I did good. I mean, I loved it. And so what I was just doing was hurriedly rushing through, erasing lines, and then actually darkening the.
Oh my gosh,
Darkening.
look at that. Jeez, that
Yeah,
looks
that was
like
a lot of
computer
fun.
animation right there. That is nicely done for your first time.
It makes
Yeah.
me think of Andy Warhol.
Okay, yeah.
Like there's like, where is it? No, it's not Warhol. It's who's the guy that does the the primary colors and
Oh, yeah, that was
you know,
Andy,
that
right?
dude.
With the blocks. Yeah.
No, I think it was something
No.
else. I'm
Alright.
like, yeah, but anyway, but I'll
Oh,
start
the
coloring it in.
Mondrian, right?
Yeah.
Mondrian? Mondrian?
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
There you go. Yeah. Some art theory here going together. But the geometry really is like underneath all of it, you know.
It's awesome. It's pretty awesome. Thank you.
It's so cool, isn't it? It's just, I mean, honestly, I was working with this thing for a long time, and then it's evolved, and Leanne has witnessed it, which is so beautiful. So this is just this, it has so much more meaning doing it this way, and the meaning just grows and grows. So we actually can sneak one last shape in. I'm so excited for this. So we're going to do the vector equilibrium, and I'm literally going to give you like, I mean, I'll give you the highlights of the information, but we can do it. It's just based in the seed. It's just a couple of lines. You're gonna get blasted out of how cool it can be. Let me do the little overview of what we're doing because it's really amazing. This is the shape, right? The shape is called the vector equilibrium, and it's also called the cube octahedron, right? Because this is you remember your platonic solids, right? This is a cube and an octahedron mashed up together, right? It's also called the vector equilibrium. Where is it? Where's my shot? There it is. Because every line segment's vector in this shape is an equal length, equilibrium. And equilibrium in that creates I have to do this for you visually. It creates a shape that can oscillate and sustain itself infinitely, right? It's that equilibrium, and no other shape is like that all of the line segments are the same. And what that creates is this point of singularity right here. This is basically the shape of free energy because it sustains itself. And that point is a black hole. It is a proton. It is the point of singularity. It is where physics meets metaphysics, right? Because it's that still point within us too. It's this center point of infinite source of energy, right? Like we're talking about this geometry being in the field, in space, as well as, you know, within us, that we have this structure as well. We're talking about accessing energy. You remember I was saying how the dodecahedron, which is the geometry of ether, right? This is similar, only this is a self-sustaining geometry. And so it creates that center point. And when you learn to harness, when you create technology, AKA Tesla technology, that can figure out how to harness the geometry, that's when you can create an infinite source of energy, right? Well, it was that one. You can create an infinite source of energy. You can tap it within yourself as well as in space. And that information, building technology, free energy technology, obviously could liberate humanity from this scarcity-based, fearful paradigm where we have to fight each other for what we believe are limited resources. So when you've got a geometric structure that you can literally harness for infinite sources of energy, that is top secret stuff. And that's why you see sacred geometry coming back into our collective consciousness, and it's why it's been kept secret. It's why Tesla was taken out. It's why all of these technologies have not been available to us. You know, that's all I'll say on that. We all know that story. So cube octahedron, and here's where it is in the shape, right? We've got, you know, the star tetrahedron, right, within the flower of life, and you pull the tetrahedrons apart, and there's the vector equilibrium. Can you guys hear him talking or no? Can anybody? No. All right. So that's the cube octahedron, and Nassim Haramein, he's actually talking about, he's narrating, but he was, that's him. He was, he's one of the more popularized physicists and mathematicians to develop unified field theory, which uses that geometry. Buckminster Fuller also really coined these terms and built the geodesic dome and gave us, you know, all sorts of toys and geometries that that incorporate the vector equilibrium and the measurements, right? So it's just infinitely cool. I'm doing like a 5-minute overview, but just know that this is a really powerful geometry. And let me see, I think I have, here it is. Here's the breakdown, right? On the far right, you've got the flower of life. And on the left, I think we talked a little bit about the 64 star tetrahedron, right? So the vector is, there's both an outer one and an inner one. Again, it's fractalizing. This is just like, you remember the star tetrahedron in Metatron's cube. There's the large one and there's the inner small one. Same with the vector in the 64. There's a large one, there's an inner smaller one. And it is significant for the energy that it generates and maintains and sustains. Those are all
Would,
sort of
would you
synonyms.
include that last slide in what you send to us?
This one?
So that we, yeah, so that we can possibly draw it from the flower seed of life. Flower.
We're gonna do that in a hot second. So yeah, you bet I'll send it to you. Yeah, a hot second. Okay, so it's just significant, right? We're gonna draw it so that we see it kind of like this. You can see the blue plane. There's one, that axis is an entire plane, and then the green is an axis that's another plane, and then the red on the horizontal is a full 3-dimensional plane as well, right? So this is 3 planes of existence in this shape, and it looks like this as well, right? All of these different super cool manifestations of it. And I think this is another iteration. You can see the yellow one is the cube octahedron, right? And here's how it sits on the outside of the tetrahedrons. Rieko, did I move it too fast? Were you trying to take a picture of something? No, okay. All right. So, yep, there's the progression. Oh, then it goes into the tree, right? So tiny little overview, very tiny little shape, like super powerful, could generate enough energy to run to support civilizations, right? So here's the liberation moment. Are we ready to draw it? It's very quick and we'll just sneak it right in. We're going to, I believe, landscape orientation in the center, in the approximate center, measure to the 5.5 point on the vertical, right? Finding that center point on the vertical. And that's going to give us the precise center of the page. Your compass wants to be 2.5 inches wide. That's the biggest we can do the circle and stay on the page. So finding the center of the page on the vertical axis, compass point, compass to 2.5 inches wide, 2.5 inch radius is going to give us a 5-inch wide circle, 5-inch diameter. Go ahead and draw yourself nice and light, right? Nice and light, because the lines are what's going to pop the seed. Here we're going to see how the seed is really the germ of life. It really is the basic shape that gives us everything. Again and again, we'll come back to it. So I'm going to go into it here, drawing the seed, right? Just in the center of your page, nice and light. Take your time with this. Once you've got there, you can kind of sit and breathe. Who we got? Joni, can you go ahead and mute yourself? I think it's you we're hearing. I don't know if maybe it's not you.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry about
everybody. Okay. All right, great. So once again, this lovely, satisfying, spherical shape, geometry. 7 tiny circles give us the coordinates for sustainable energy that could revolutionize our reality. I mean, everything would be gone. It would just be a complete overhaul. Like we bop into like unity consciousness, abundance in an infinitely abundant paradigm, and connectivity, joy, all of our psychic abilities would come online, telepathy, we'd just be one sort of unified field. We would have a greater understanding of the whole. everything would change. So don't talk about it. All right, everybody's doing their seed. Yeah. And we started off 4 weeks ago. The seed of life was a stretch. It was a brand new thing. Now it's all familiar. You're all just busting it out nice and rhythmically. See if you can take a breath and feel into it too. Feel into that process. Left brain, right brain harmonizing. Once you get there, if you've got it in front of you, take a moment with it. Maybe say thank you for it. It's shown us so much. It's given us so much. Beautiful harmonic shape. Oopsies, I'm gonna end that. Go. Yeah. All right, got our seed. Couple more heads down. Yep. All right, you guys are doing so beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to show you the points that we're going to use. I want you to, it helps a lot to darken them in. All right, so, back up for a second. 4 colors. Choose 4 colors that resonate with you in this moment, kind of contrasting colors. And again, I recommend not using yellow. I was bummed that yellow takes a hit with all of these, but you want to really pop the shapes if you can. So 4 different colors. As you're ready. And that is the last of the compass for these 4 weeks. If anyone's finishing up, I'll say thank you for the compass. Thank you to the seed. And look forward to those of you going forward. I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. That's your 4 colors. All right, back to screen share. So what we're going to do, choose your first color. All right. Oh, Kaori's breaking out the whole set. Looks lovely. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love art supplies. All right. So once you've gotten your first color, just have a look at the seed up here and darken in the points just like I have, right? So we're going to use the divots on the outside, right? All of the divots, those are going to be our guideposts. So give a nice darkening into the intersection on the outside there. And then the tips of the petals, the inner petals, that's your other guideline, right? So you're going to do this kind of on a parallel, or sorry, one axis, right? You're going to do all of these dots on one axis. This is on the left diagonal axis. All right. So divot to divot, and then inside tip of the petal to inside tip of the petal. All right. So far, so good. Looks like it. Still making some points. Right.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are we using the compass at this point?
No, we are complete with the compass. We're using the first colored pencil, and we're just making these dots. We're darkening in these points because they're going to be the guides for our next slide. Okay, you got it. All right, good. Now we're coming into actually drawing the lines and what it's going to look like. Same color. What it's going to look like is this. We're doing a double terminated crystal. So we're using the points. We're using the 2 divots that we darkened in. And then we're coming right to the tips of the petals, and we're doing a nice parallel rectangle type shape. How am I going to do that? Yeah, I don't know how to get that to you guys. I have to really dash out the door. Hey. So we've got, everybody got that? Oh, no rush. No rush. Thanks. Okay, all right. Got some heads nodding. Don't want to rush anybody. We've got this shape. And then we're going to choose our second color, right? And we're going to make this shape on 3 different axes, right? So we've got the left axis here, left diagonal axis. Now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to choose our second color, right? And darken in those points, right? Again, using the outer divots. This is going to be the right hand diagonal axis, right? Choose the chart, darkening in up at the top, and then the tips of the petals, the inner petals on the inside, right? Tips to tips. and then that outer divot. All right, everybody getting that? Don't want to rush. Got those points. And then we're going to be making the exact same shape that we did before. This is with a second color, and it's going to look like this. I used yellow, isn't that silly? It's probably why I started saying it. All right, so it's the exact same shape, but this is on the right axis. And this is going to be another shape that invites us to play with our perceptual abilities, right? Play when we stop, you know, when we get to the end, you can play with seeing the yellow plane, right? Or the blue plane, the different axis, and it'll give you the opportunity to go in and out of 2D and 3D, right? It's a really fun part of the shape. Yep, July's got it already. So, you know, kind of just visually, right? And it's literally, this is new neural pathways. This is neuroplasticity. These geometries are like really helping us stay young and step outside the limitations of 3D even, right? When you can go from 2D to 3D, then you can go from 3D to 4D and 3D to 5D, right? So it's stretching that muscle of dimensionality. So we've got all those. Then you're going to choose your third color, and you can imagine we're going to do that on the horizontal plane, right? Choosing the two divots on the horizontal plane, and then the tips of the petals. Now you are overlapping some already again, right? So you've already got these tips colored in with the other two shapes, but this is going to be the horizontal axis. We did the right and the left. Now we're going to bisect the shape on the horizontal with third color. Oh boy, I hope I said that. Third color, right? Third axis. And you can see now you've got two iterations of the star tetrahedron as well. You've got the inner one that's obvious, and then you've got an outer one that has some segments missing. All right, coming in just under the wire. Double terminated crystal on the horizontal plane. Looking good. You guys are doing it. Vector equilibrium, shape of infinite energy, right here in 10 minutes. All right, you got that. Don't want to rush anybody. You're going to go with your fourth color now. All right, again, super symmetry. Fourth color. All right. Looking good. Everybody got, speak up. It looks like everybody, oh, hang on a second. Let me just do thumbs up. We all got it to that point. All right, cool. So fourth color. Now what you're going to do is draw the outer hexagon boundary, right? You're just connecting those star points going around on all 6 sides with that fourth color. It's like a child's toy, only it's a very sophisticated geometry. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a second while you're doing that. Oh, yeah, hopefully you can just do that really quick. Just trying to see if I can. Okay. See if this will work while everybody's getting their hexagon on. Oh, okay. It'll take me too long. So with the same color, I'm going to show you. I'm going to give us proof here so that we can all get this. Let me go into, everybody's got their hexagon. We've got a couple more lines. I want to see, because if I get your Gmail, I don't think it can Zoom at the same time. My computer just will get overwhelmed. Okay, so we'll just take a pause with this. Nope, hang on. We're just gonna stay there, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Here we go. We've got our hexagons now. Awesome. So you're gonna draw same color. You're gonna draw that bisecting line, right? You're gonna cut the shape in half with that same color on 3 different axes. You're gonna do it on the horizontal plane and the right and left diagonal. Okay. Right. You guys are doing so great. We might stay for a minute after to double check emails, and then I can just pop out the PDF right to you so that you have this before I dash out the door. All right, we've got these 3 axes. Okay, looks good. Now we've got one more set of lines. We've connected the external star points. Now we're going to connect the internal star points. We're just going to use the petals. We're going to bisect the petals. Oopsie, sorry. Here you go. This is what it's going to look like. Use the petals. They're using the exact same lines. You have the petals. It's gone in here, right? So just using the petals, right? On the vertical here, and then on the 2. So just the star points, right? Connecting the inner star points. I don't have the lines here, but because I erased the seed. So right across, yeah. Joni, are you leaning in? So it's going to look like, yeah.
I'm not seeing what you added after the 3.
Right. On the inner star, because I confused it. I got rid of the seed in here, but the inner star, you're just cutting the points, right? You're bisecting the shape in half. It's confusing because I took the seed out. I apologize. It's going to look like this.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
And that's that same 4th color.
Same 4th color, right? Because these are all of these lines, all of the green lines are the same length. They're all the same length, all of the colors, all of the lines, right? So it should end up looking like this, except the seed is gone behind it. So I apologize for that confusing piece. That's why we try to start out with the seed being light, and that's why we have those smaller erasers, because you can just get right in there and erase the seed so that you end up getting this. It's not too much erasing, but hopefully you guys were able to get that. So I'm going to come out, check and see how everybody's doing. All right. Looks like did I rush too far past that? Okay. Ben's giving a thumbs up. All right. Leanne's already ready to show. Let's see it. All right. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. What do you think? You want to come off mute? This will be like kind of closing thoughts and sharing of the vector.
Well, it's just a wonderful way to end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt really good. I liked using the colors. I feel good.
Oh, good. Good. Do you want to do like a, is you're feeling good, the summarizing the class on the whole, how you're doing? Yeah, just feeling good.
Yeah, it was good. Good.
Cool. Thanks. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, Ben. Ooh, let me see. Hang on a second. Let me spotlight. All right. Oh, dang, that's sharp. A little bit
Sorry, I
of
was just trying to
Star
figure
Wars
out
in
with the
there.
lighting what's going to be the best. I went with I was been choosing to use Sharpie for my colors.
Wow.
And
That's
so I
commitment.
used some lighter pastels in here, but then a black outline.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's fun.
That shape doesn't embody. It's fun. That shape looks like intense Darth Vader geometry.
That's funny.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Closing thoughts for the class. You hung in there. You're doing great.
Yeah, I
Cool.
hope to find time to do more of it in
Cool.
between now and next week.
All right, great. Well, lovely having you in here. All right, yeah, we're down to the last few minutes, so let's hear from everybody in a great big thank you. All right, we got 2 down, 8 to go. All right, Janice, you're off mute. You want to go for it?
Sure.
Let me see. Wait, let me get to you. Spotlight that. All right, what do you think? Look at that.
It was really fun. I can't wait to do it again and do different colors and see what it ends up to look like. I did one line I didn't get straight, so it's not quite in the center, so I have to make sure that I concentrate on that next time. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Doesn't it look cool when you it's different when you hold it up, it's different when you, and definitely take a picture of this one. It's like really, it pops really when you do take it. I'm so glad, and you're feeling good.
Yeah.
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 Good. looks super sparkly. All right, thank you. And then what we got next? Joni looks like she's bopping on there. How you doing?
Doing good. Very appreciative of this time and doing this. As you know, I'm kind of wound up, but
Wow.
I got really lucky on the seed, and it was almost just perfect. So drawing those lines it turned out really good. So I'm excited to put some dimension,
Yeah,
3D to it.
cool.
And thanks for the class. I'm excited to join the next half and hope to see lots of everybody there.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you. And when you say lucky, I would say, hey, practice, right? Like it starts to, but it also can be off some time even with practice. But nicely done. It's beautiful. And
Thank you.
yeah,
It's an appreciation for precision that was what I developed in the short time.
right on. Cool. Thank you. All right. Greta, you're off mute. Are you jumping in?
So I just had a pencil and
Oh, nice.
I just did different kinds of lines with the pencil
Mhm.
and I left my seed. But I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a good group. So anyway,
Very
that is mine.
Very cool. Love it. Lovely to have you here. And I love the ingenuity of different kinds of lines with one pencil without the color. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. See you
Love
next
it.
week.
All right. Let's see. Who else we got? Let's see, we got a few of you. All right, Rico. Well, she jumped in first. Yeah.
So
So
you can see
woo,
really clearly.
yeah.
But I have a question.
All right.
See, this is not straight. It's supposed to be here.
Uh-huh.
So I think probably the second circle that
Mhm.
I'm drawing, probably
Mhm.
I have a problem because it's always not lined up slightly. So
Yes. That is exactly the answer. You've back engineered it, and that's really cool that you could figure out that that's where it's starting. Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I have to work on.
Well, if you want, you can just, without drawing a line, you can just get your
I think I
ruler.
should put the line in in the center. I think
Yeah.
it may help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it that you could tell where it started though. That's super cool. Yeah. And I giggled because what was it, like 2 classes ago, you were also in the Metatrons. You're like, I
Yeah.
don't know why it's like
I know it's always, I need some line, guideline.
That's great. That's a great. Oh, it's lovely. And thank you for being here, and the drawing is beautiful. All right. What else we got? Joy, you jumped in as well right then. Yeah, hang on, let me spotlight you. Hang on. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. What do you think?
That's fun. That was great.
Yeah,
It
right.
is interesting how progressive. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Isn't it great? You just look at these super complex things and you're like, oh, I just did that. It's well done. Well done. And I think I remember in the first class, you almost, or the second one, you're like, I'm just gonna watch, but look at what you've done. I mean, that's remarkably well done. Nice job. I think the next series, we're gonna do the 64-star tetrahedron, that one, like the bones of the flower of life, and it looks so complicated, but you just take it step by step and you get through it, and it's just, you back up and you're like, oh my god, how did that happen? Just like Metatron's cube, right? Like we all looked at that one at first and we're like, all right, I might screw this up, so really well done. Lovely. And a few more. Who else we got? We got July and Carrie, but July's there. Yeah, let's see
I'll
it.
go.
All right.
This is really cool. I honestly, I want to stare at it. I need to dedicate some time to just really think about these, because the meaning is amazing, like what you were saying about the singularity and the free energy. So it's very cool.
Mhm.
Thank you for the introduction. This is definitely like a topic that you could just, as I'm sure you've done, just really dive into the meaning of everything. And it's just very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool. I never get tired of any of it. It's just there's just always more and more, and just tons of people online that are super inspiring, doing amazing things. So thank you. It's been lovely having you here. Let's see. All right, Kiori, I don't want to miss anybody. Are you our last? Our last show and tell. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah,
I
isn't it
used
just-
three
Mhm.
of that similar colors. And maybe next time I'll use the different colors, but yeah, I guess I was feeling blue, so I used blue.
Oh, so beautiful.
It's been so fun, and I can't wait to take the next class.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad some of you will be going on for the next adventure. This has been wonderful. I so appreciate being able to do this. And you can you see how, like, in the beginning, I try to say, like, oh, this stuff can change your life and it's really fascinating, and you can't get that until the end of the 4 weeks. But it's, look at how far we've come just in 4 weeks. You know, you've got this new mastery over the compass and the geometry, and I just celebrate all of you. And I have loved seeing that you draw in between, which is just, you know, hopefully that inspires you to keep going. And I love it because you don't have to sit and think about what you want to do. You just go with the compass. You know, the seed is going to be there, and then usually, like, the inspiration comes, right? You're like, okay, I'm going all the way, and Metatrons or whatever you're in the mood for. So I like to do the practice of just drawing a seed and then, like, asking it where it wants to go. Like, what are we going to do? You know, and tuning into that sort of creative inspiration piece. Next 4 weeks, we're going to look at polygons. We're going to look at pentagons and heptagons and nonagons, and we're going to look at the occult magic and mystery in those a little bit. We're going to do a tesseract, which is a 4th dimensional geometry, doesn't even exist in the 3rd dimension. And so it really breaks your brain in terms of, like, what else is out there. And then we're going to do, I hope I'm getting all this right. I think we do the 64 star tetrahedron. It sounds like a lot in 4 weeks, though I might not have that right. So let me do this. Let's do this together, because I think we can do this. I'm going to show you my, oh geez. All right. I think it's timed out again. So I'm going to show you the accounts that I have. I'm going to show you the sense. This is me just validating and making sure I am not that far off the mark. It's going to take a minute to load. But what I want to do is, let's just go one by one really quickly. Ben, if you want to do this first, if you have to pop off right away, just jump in now and tell me that we should do you first. This is going to show me, here we go. Here is the dodecahedron. This is the, where is it? Let me see. I don't know. This probably isn't, the Zoom is going to make this so hard. It's going to open up the sense, and I'm going to be able to see. That's what's going to happen. My computer is going to work. We're going to see the emails that I sent this to. So, all right, got to move the thing. Okay, so this is in my sent folder. I have these emails. All right, so tell me, and it's going to be messy because we're on screen share. Jump in. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let me do it this way. Kaori, is that your accurate email? Is that a, yeah? You got to do it verbally because I can only see. Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's see. Zabby's not here. Joy, is that your accurate email? You're on mute. Okay. So Joy Foster at pcc.edu.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. If you have a non-PCC email, send it to me in that flow into being that I did, that I sent you. Greta, is that yours? I know you had 2 emails. That your PCC one, and then you, oh, and then GSHR Greta Hartman 50. Are those both you? Are you gone? I can't see you if you're not here. I only have a small. Okay, maybe Greta had to go.
I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They both are correct.
Those are your 2 addresses. Okay. July, is that correct for you? Do you have another one? That's your PCC one. Okay. If you, I can't hear you. I can't see. I only have,
Oh,
because
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Yes, that is the correct email. I just didn't receive it, but that is the right email.
Okay. So this email, you can see dodecahedron and flower of life PDMs. This was sent 6 days ago. So this was right after the class. I don't know how else to do this. I can send these to you guys again. Maybe I'll send it from my personal email. I don't know where the block is. Let me see that Zabby, Joan, let's see. Grants. If you see, some of them don't have names in them. So if you see, let's see, I don't know who's Susan. Can anybody who's Susan's who's maybe Susan's not here.
Yeah,
All right.
Susan's not here today. Seems
Susan's
like
not here today. Okay. Does anybody, I'm going to come off of screen share. Does anybody not see your email in that list? No. Okay. What I'm going to do, that's coming from Catherine Gruber at PCC. I'm going to send that all from the Flow into Being. I'm going to send it from my PCC. I'm going to send it from my Flow into Being. If you do not receive it by tomorrow, send me an email and we will do it until you get it. Okay. But that is on my PCC. It says sent to all of these folks. Some of you are getting it. Some of you aren't. I don't know how to do this any better. Let's make it happen. If you don't get it in the 24 hours, if you don't have it by the morning, email me and I will send you everything. I'll make sure you have everything. I just want you to be able to have everything. Okay. All right. Joni's getting it at PCC. Okay. It's been wonderful. I look forward to seeing some of you next week for the next part of the adventure. Thank you so much. And may the force be with you.
And thanks so much for your patience with the email.
Oh, we're trying. We'll get it there. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
that.
Bye.
Thank you.